Good morning. My name is Pierre Hess-Graf. I'm the District Attorney of Lebanon County. Today we are proud to partner with the Office of the Attorney General, local Lebanon County law enforcement, and our Lebanon County treatment service providers to bring the Law Enforcement Treatment Initiative, LETI for short, to Lebanon County. The LETI program provides one more tool for our community, for our police, and for our prosecutors to combat the ever-growing issues of untreated mental health and substance abuse that often lead to criminal activity. I want to thank Attorney General David Sunday for joining us today, all of your local men and women in law enforcement standing before you, as well as many of our local elected officials who took time out of their day to be here and learn more about our program. Now, I want to talk a little bit about LETI itself. Now, we sent out a press release yesterday where we went through all three tracks, all three alternatives available under the LETI program, and we went through that in pretty good detail. So today I'm going to give you more of a brief overview. So LETI has three availabilities, and under track one, that is a citizen-initiated endeavor. So it's an individual that recognizes, I have substance abuse, I have mental health. It could be a combination of the two, but they realize that they need something. And it could be for themselves, it could be for someone close to them, and at that point they would contact my office, they would contact their local police department, and we put them in direct contact with a diagnosis center in Lebanon County as well as treatment. It's then incumbent upon that individual to follow through and partake in the treatment and the services available. LETI Track 2 is law enforcement initiated. And that would be an officer has contact, whether it's through a crime scene, an investigation, a traffic stop, but the officer has contact with an individual, criminal charges are on the horizon, but the officer realizes that there is a substance abuse, a mental health, there is a combination issue out there of the two, and the officer feels it appropriate to pursue LETI Track 2. The officer then has to phone me directly for approval. We review the circumstances of why the officer is there, the background of the individual, any victim input, and then I then have to approve whether or not LETI Track 2 is appropriate. If we sign off on it, the officer puts that individual in direct contact with a treatment center, with diagnosis, with evaluations. The officer then monitors, is this person substantially and meaningfully participating in treatment? Because that's what we want. If it's a ruse and the person doesn't go through the evaluation, if the person does not participate with treatment and services, then the police officer files charges and we proceed with prosecution just as we would have anyway. The difference comes in if that person meaningfully participates. If they get the help that they so desperately need, the officer never files a criminal charge. Now, LETI Track 2 is not available for every type of crime and every type of defendant. You aren't talking about a violent crime being committed or a history of violent offenses. You aren't talking about hardened drug dealers poisoning our community. What you're talking about is someone that has a first or very minimal prior contact with the system, and it's a low-level offense that's currently being committed. And at that point, we review all the circumstances to determine, is this person a good candidate and a good fit for LETI Track 2? If this program works under Track 2, they get the help they need, and we never see them back in the criminal justice system again. At that point, everyone in Lebanon County wins. LETI Track 3 is working in direct lines with the criminal justice system as you already know it to be. So in that instance, the police officer will file a criminal charge, it proceeds to court. At any point, once charges are filed, the prosecutor assigned, the defendant himself or herself, or the defense attorney can request a LETI referral. At that stage, we would get the diagnosis, the evaluation, and the necessary treatment and services would be administered. But in that instance, for LETI Track 3, it's going to come in either as a component of bail or as an imposition of the ultimate sentence ordered by a court of common pleas judge. One of the differentiations I want to make today is you are blessed in Lebanon County. We are blessed to already have a number of diversionary programs and treatment courts. We have the ARD program. We have a DUI court, we have a veterans court, we have a drug court. I am extremely hopeful to have a mental health court up and running in 2026. LETI is separate and apart from all of those other avenues. This is not detracting, it is not competing with your treatment courts. LETI is just giving us one more tool, and your typical defendant for LETI would have the substance abuse, would have the mental health issues, and would need the treatment, but wouldn't otherwise qualify for those courts and for those services. So this is kind of filling that gap that we have out there and providing more avenues for treatment and for having people get help. And the other aspect of LETI is that this is tailored to Lebanon County. So the evaluation and the diagnosis will come from a Lebanon County treatment provider. These services administered will come from a Lebanon County treatment provider. And I am so thankful that standing before you today, you have Holly Leahy and James Dunmoyer, who you will hear from this morning. But their willingness and their open-mindedness to buy in and sit down with this program and bring Lebanon County Drug and Alcohol and Lebanon County Mental Health into the fold, without the commitment of the two of them, we wouldn't be here. Now, we also wouldn't be here without the commitment and the hard work of the Office of the Attorney General. Now, to bring LETI to Lebanon County has taken us some time and quite a bit of initiative. Agent Lauren Diller has been our point person on the ground helping us get this program up and running. She has trained us, she's crafted our training materials, and I want to thank her for all of the hard work that she has put in today. And now I'm going to move on to introducing the man you're probably all really here to see, Attorney General David Sunday. I was honored to know him and to work with him when he was the elected District Attorney of York County. And I found General Sunday to be a humble, a hardworking, tough man who was capable of going to court and fighting the fight. When it became very clear that he would be our newly elected Attorney General, that was when we decided to bring LETI to Lebanon County. And I found it so meaningful and so special to work with his office and bring this program to all of you under his name and under his moniker. So with that, I'm going to ask Attorney General Sunday to come up and say a few words.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I think people are here to celebrate an amazing initiative. I don't think they're here to see me as my guest. But it's an honor to be here with everyone. Thank you. Thank you, District Attorney Graff, for your leadership in bringing this to Lebanon County. I just want to say that this is really important because, you know, my philosophy has always been, this is very simple. If our communities aren't safe, literally nothing else matters. Nothing. And that includes, you know, keeping families together. It includes, you know, people being able to go to work in safety. I mean, think about it. If that isn't the case, where are we as a society? And to get there, I've always believed in what I call accountability and redemption. And what I mean by that is you have to hold people accountable. And I promise you that throughout Pennsylvania, there are few DAs that are as good as District Attorney Graff in holding people accountable. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and it's an absolute truth. So to have a leader like her who understands the critical nature of holding people accountable, to also understand how important it is to embrace ways to keep people from committing crimes in the first place on the sort of on the redemption side, it just means the absolute world to me. Right now we have around 34 counties in Pennsylvania, is that right, that are have signed on to the LETI program, and I want to talk about that a little bit. So when I was a district attorney, it kind of irritated me sometimes when people will come to me from faraway lands and tell me like how to solve our problems in York County when I was a York DA. And I was like, you know, that's not how this works. Like, we know our community, we know what we need, we know who all the partners are, the community partners, we know the issues we're facing. And so I made that very clear to my team as Attorney General that we are here to support the needs locally versus to come in and say, this is how you have to do it. Because it just doesn't work unless it's driven locally by the county, and that is exactly what happened here in Lebanon. When you look at public safety, when you just turning right to our prisons, so I think it's around 67% of everyone that's incarcerated has some type of substance use disorder. You then just think about that. I mean, that is just, number one, it's sad because that's the state of affairs in our society. But number two, what can we do to keep people from going into prison in the first place? Because that's really what this comes down to. And LETI addresses that. And to be able to partner with law enforcement to get that done is the only way it'll ever be done successfully. You then move into the world of mental health. So one of the reasons I ran for Attorney General was to increase access to mental health services for people that connect with the criminal justice system. You know, I have seen so many times, and I guarantee every police officer in this room has seen it, where there's been a call where they had to go help someone who's in the throes of a mental health crisis. And oftentimes that may turn into some type of interaction, maybe a small crime was committed, and that person doesn't get any help. When you look at some of the worst, most violent, horrific crimes in society, and you walk backwards through that person's life, I guarantee that in most cases you'll find they had a mental health crisis and they connected with the criminal justice system and nothing ever happened. They may have gone to a prison they may have gone to prison for like a day or two. They came back out. They were in worse situation when they came back out, and that cycle continued, and no one ever made the effort to break it. And that's what this initiative does. That's how important this is, because these are individuals that are connecting with law enforcement in some of the worst, most horrific times of their life. You know, I always say if someone breaks into my house, like, I want them to be prosecuted, okay? At the same time, I would rather have no one ever break into my home. And I think that when our communities are safe, when we can keep families together, when people are employed and they're working, that's when we get to the place that we need to be. I mean, I just cannot tell you just how excited I am to be here. I mean, and again, I want to say, when you have a DA, when you have a district attorney like District Attorney Graff here, who has made her career one where she is in a courtroom fighting and putting some of the most dangerous people in prison you could imagine, that is a credible messenger for why we need to also look at ways to keep these crimes from happening in the first place. And I'm sure she agrees with me on that. I also want to say that, you know, for anyone out there that's watching this and says, you know what, I would love to have that happen in my county, reach out to the Attorney General's office. You know, reach out to the Lebanon County DA's office. Ask them, you know, how this has been for them. You know, and I also want to say something. You know, we come up here and we do the press conferences, but the reality is none of this would happen if it wasn't for the hard work of really everyone else, from the treatment providers to the police officers in the street to the police chiefs that are willing to make this happen. And in the AG's office in particular, Lauren Diller, who was mentioned, she works unbelievably hard behind the scenes to get this done. And I'm personally grateful for her dedication to this and to community safety. So that being said, it is an absolute honor to be here. I'm so excited for Lebanon County, and I'm excited for all of the people that will hopefully be able to utilize this initiative to put their life back on track and be at a place where they can be healthy and happy and successful. So thank you all for covering this, and thank you, District Attorney Graff. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Appreciate it.
Now, we had asked our local law enforcement if one of their police chiefs would be willing to come up and talk to you a little bit about LETI. And with that, Chief Andy Winters of the Western Lebanon County Regional Police Department has a few words.
Good morning. I'm going to try to keep this short, sweet. I'm here to speak on behalf of the law enforcement within Lebanon County. As you heard from the Attorney General and the District Attorney, the whole goal of LETI is to help people that are addicted to drugs, alcohol, or going through a mental health issue. Whether it's giving them information or giving them guidance to people prior to criminal crimes occurring or after a crime occurs. The LETI program, we're viewing it as a valuable resource for law enforcement within Lebanon County. It's adding a tool in our toolbox, and it's giving options to our police department, because not everybody that we deal with needs to go to jail. Sometimes people make mistakes, and a second chance is needed to get them back on track. Our goal for this program is to make people productive members of Lebanon County again. And ultimately, LETI allows the Lebanon County law enforcement this option while still holding people accountable.
The buy-in from your Lebanon County Police has been wonderful, and through LETI, we will have every single officer trained on what this program is, how it works, how they utilize it, and we will continue to do ongoing trainings going forward. So I thank Chief Winters very much, and every man and woman you see before you on the stage, because unless your police chiefs buy in, unless the top of the brass buys in, it doesn't trickle down. And it's just been wonderful to see the commitment from law enforcement to, yes, we do put people in jail when they need to be and when they deserve it, but there are also people who need treatment and help, and you have to use your discretion. Now, we talked about earlier, this is a Lebanon County program, and we're using Lebanon County agencies. So you are going to hear from two of our treatment providers this morning. I have James Dunmoyer from Drug and Alcohol, and then Holly Leahy from Mental Health. We're going to start with Mr. Dunmoyer.
Thank you. Good morning. Before I get started, I just want to say that I've never felt more safe in my life than I do today. I also want to say that I respect the men and women in blue, and I respect the jobs they have to keep us safe. So I want to thank you all for your service, all the folks that are here, and all the people that are in the streets keeping us safe. As District Attorney said, my name is James Donmoyer. I'm the Executive Director of Lebanon County Commission on Drug and Alcohol Abuse. It's my privilege to be here today to endorse this program here in Lebanon County. As people before me talked about the LETI program, my involvement with the LETI program will be simply the police officers making referrals for drug and alcohol services. We do that. We receive drug and alcohol referrals all the time. This is just another way to get more people to us that we can treat and support. Some of the things that we will do with people that are referred to LETI, we will conduct substance abuse assessments. We will refer people to outpatient counseling. We'll refer people to intensive outpatient counseling. We will get people connected with medical assisted treatment, MAT. We'll get people in partial hospitalizations. People will go to detox. People will go to rehab. We have all kinds of programs at our fingertips that we can refer people into treatment. I look forward to working with the District Attorney's Office as well as the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office and all law enforcement in Lebanon County to make this program a success. I'm proud to be up here today. This is a collective effort, and I'm just going to do my small part to make this a success. And I thank everybody for being here today. Thank you.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. My name is Holly Leahy. I'm the Administrator for Lebanon County Mental Health, Intellectual Disabilities, Early Intervention Programs. It is my honor to be here today and a part of this initiative for our Lebanon County community. Our mission at Lebanon County Mental Health, Intellectual Disabilities is that every individual will be given the opportunity to select culturally competent services that support their growth, wellness, and inclusion in our community. For this to happen well, we must all join together so individuals can access treatment and realize success in our community. One of the biggest benefits to being a smaller county in Pennsylvania is that we all know one another and we work well together. We are small, but we are mighty. Our agency has been diligently working with our community partners to build a system of opportunities to divert people experiencing behavioral health, intellectual disabilities, and autism-related concerns away from the criminal justice system and into supportive services and treatment. With this said, on any given day, there are 40 or more individuals with mental health concerns in our local correctional facility that could potentially have been diverted to treatment. Lebanon County Crisis Intervention has made tremendous progress over the last 2 years with a focus on providing mobile crisis intervention and meeting individuals in the community right where they are. This has been very successful in diverting individuals from the emergency department and inpatient hospitalizations whenever possible. We are thrilled for the opportunity that behavioral health LETI provides, since crisis intervention alone cannot divert individuals from the criminal justice system. The creation of a behavioral health LETI program supports our mission by enhancing collaboration between our agency, Lebanon Crisis Intervention, state and local police departments, and the Lebanon County District Attorney's Office to provide a behavioral health response instead of a legal response to a behavioral health problem. It's our intent to assist our local law enforcement officers with alternatives to incarceration and assist the District Attorney's Office in monitoring those jail diversion strategies. I also would like to thank the Attorney General's office, and in particular, Agent Lauren Diller, for her tremendous efforts in coordinating this initiative for Lebanon County. I now hand it back to our District Attorney, Graf.
I apologize, but there's one other point that I'd like to make. And, in listening to all the speakers today, as a society, we have asked a lot of our police officers. We've asked them to be everything in addition to being a police officer you could possibly imagine. And that is being a domestic violence counselor, babysitters sometimes, to be mental health treatment providers. We've asked them to be able to have every answer literally to every single issue that could come up 10, 20, 30 times within one shift under just the glare of public scrutiny. And we ask them to do this literally every single day, really without a break. And I say that solely because this initiative is giving them another tool, because when we ask so much of them, we at the same time have to provide them with the tools to be able to do what society demands. And so when I look around this room, I see so many people that are supportive of that. And I hope that everyone in law enforcement understands that we see what you go through, and we're here to make sure you have what society demands of you. I mean, I look around this room and I see everything from Senator Chris Gebhardt, who has been a stalwart supporter of law enforcement. We need legislators to support the cause. Just throwing that out there, we do. And so we appreciate that very much. To support staff, to members of the District Attorneys Association that are here to be supportive of this. And so I just wanted to take a moment to say that, because I think that this initiative is one of the many that hopefully we will continue to see, so that we can provide some support and relief for police and put our society in a place where we can be more effective and make our communities even safer. So I'm done now. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
So again, we want to thank all of you very much for attending, for wanting to learn more about the LETI program. We start today and we move forward. So again, I thank you all very, very much. Press conference is done. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.